In the year 2000 in Mexico, miners made a discovery unlike anything else on the planet. This is the Cave of Crystals. Nearly 1,000 feet under the earth, under a mountain rich in lead, zinc, and silver, a chamber was formed that allowed hot water to seep in, creating enormous crystals. There could be many, many more caves like this in the world that lay undiscovered. Follow me for more info like this.
So remember Mr. Krabs' first dime in SpongeBob? Well, that was actually inspired by a real-life form of currency. Welcome to the Pacific island of Yap, where money comes in the form of massive limestone discs of up to 4 tons. They're known as ray stones and have been exchanged as money among the Yapese for centuries. They obviously can't be moved around much, so the location of the stone doesn't actually matter. The Yapese rely on an oral history of transaction. The value of each stone is determined by how difficult or dangerous it was to originally acquire. Generally speaking, the larger the ray and the more people who were killed or injured while trying to obtain it, the more valuable. See, the Yapese often had to go on dangerous expeditions to faraway islands to mine these stones. Islands whose inhabitants usually didn't appreciate the Yapese messing with their resources. By the 19th century, contact with Europeans introduced metal tools and big cargo ships, which made creating and transporting new ray stones much easier. As a result, the stone money underwent extreme inflation and Western currencies came to replace it. While the US dollar is now the main currency of everyday transactions, ray stones are still used in important ceremonial events like marriage, inheritance, and gestures of goodwill. They're also the national symbol of the island, being featured on license plates and the official seal.
So this is a LiDAR survey of Angkor Wat, and what they discovered is it was bigger than the 5 boroughs of New York, and it housed a population of up to 750,000 people.
1948, Frank Kennard testified that in 1912, while working in the municipal electric plant in Thomas, Oklahoma, broke open an unusually large piece of coal only to find an iron pot. An iron pot? Coal is 300 million years old, right? Or was this iron pot created by Tubal-Cain?
Over many years, I've collected a lot of artifacts. And on these ancient artifacts, the majority of them depict something called the Seven Sisters. It's pretty interesting that when you go into ancient texts, you discover that a lot of these civilizations supposedly started in the Pleiadian star system, which is where you have the Seven Sisters. It's been mentioned in Homer's Iliad, it's been mentioned in the Bible, many other texts as well. But what's interesting is the Aboriginal people of Australia also say that they were the first people seated on this planet by the Pleiadians.
Above the King's Chamber in the Great Pyramid are 5 further chambers, and these chambers are roofed and floored with granite beams that weigh about 70 tons each. 70-ton beam is equivalent in weight to 35 large SUVs. There are hundreds of them. These 70-ton granite beams have been elevated to a height of more than 350 feet above the ground and carefully and precisely placed in position. It is very hard for archaeologists to explain how that was done. You can say, oh, perhaps they built a ramp and hauled the stones up the ramp. But then you have to confront basic laws of physics. You can't haul a stone weighing tens of tons up a slope that exceeds 10 degrees. Then you start doing the calculation. How long a ramp do I need with a 10-degree slope to get to 350 feet above the ground? And the answer is you need a fucking long ramp.
What is found in this chamber tomb in Egypt? A sarcophagus with mysterious stones inside. These advanced ancient Egyptian stones have unexplained powers.